How the UK illegal immigration crisis can negatively affect men living here. The UK's illegal immigration crisis is not just a border issue. It is a political issue, a policing issue, a local community issue, and for many men living in Britain, it has become a psychological issue too. This subject is emotionally charged. It is easy for the debate to become cruel, tribal, or racist. But it is also dishonest to pretend that ordinary people, including men in working-class towns, coastal areas, deprived cities, and pressured communities, are not feeling the effects of a system they believe is out of control. Let's get into it. The first impact is political distrust. Many men already feel ignored by politics. They work, pay tax, obey the law, struggle with rent, bills, housing, NHS waiting lists, local crime, and unstable jobs. When they see hotels being used for asylum accommodation, when they see the government promising control but failing to deliver it, they can begin to feel that the social contract is broken. The anger is not always simply about migrants. Often it is about fairness. Men ask, why are rules strict for me but weak at the border? Why am I told there is no money for local services? While money appears for emergency accommodation, why does my town carry the burden while decision makers live far away from the consequences? That sense of unfairness can become politically dangerous. It can push men towards extreme politics, conspiracy theories, online rage, and hardline movements that offer simple answers to complicated problems. When mainstream politics fails to explain, act, or listen, more aggressive voices step into the gap. The second impact is pressure on policing. Police forces are already stretched. They deal with violence, drugs, shoplifting, domestic abuse, mental health callouts, antisocial behavior, and organized crime. When immigration-related tensions rise locally, policing becomes even harder. Officers may have to manage protests, counter-protests, hotel demonstrations, online rumors, public disorder, and community intimidation. This creates a difficult balance. Police must protect asylum seekers from harassment and violence. They must also protect local residents who have legitimate concerns. If they appear too soft, locals feel ignored. If they appear too heavy-handed, communities feel silenced. For men living in these areas, this can create a feeling of insecurity. Some worry about crime. Some worry about being labeled racist if they speak up. Some worry about violence between groups. Some worry that police are being pulled away from everyday crimes that already affect their families. The result is tension. Men may feel that the state is present when controlling public anger, but absent when dealing with the causes of that anger. The third impact is local pressure. Immigration policy is made nationally, but its consequences are felt locally. A hotel, a town center, a high street, a school, a GP surgery, a bus route, a housing office. These are the places where national decisions become real. If a local area is already struggling, sudden asylum accommodation can feel like another burden. Residents may feel they were not consulted. Local businesses may worry about reputation, footfall, or safety. Parents may worry about their children. Young men may feel more territorial, more defensive, and more likely to interpret change as a threat. This is especially true in areas where men already feel economically abandoned. In some towns, traditional industries have disappeared, wages are low, male employment is insecure, public spaces are run down. If men already feel forgotten, the arrival of a highly visible immigration issue can become a symbol of everything they believe has gone wrong. The fourth impact is mental health. Men often experience stress through anger, withdrawal, cynicism, or silence. The immigration crisis can add to this stress by creating a sense of loss of control. Men may feel their town is changing without their consent. They may feel their government is lying to them. They may feel unsafe, unheard, or morally trapped, angry about the situation, but uncomfortable with hatred. That internal conflict matters. A man can be concerned about illegal immigration without hating migrants. A man can support border control while still believing that genuine refugees deserve humane treatment. But public debate often forces people into two camps, either compassionate or racist, either patriotic or heartless. That false choice makes honest conversation harder. When men cannot speak openly, resentment goes underground. It appears in pubs, workplaces, WhatsApp groups, football terraces, online forums, and family arguments. Over time, that resentment can harden into bitterness. The fifth impact is community division. A badly managed immigration system can damage trust between neighbors. Local people may begin to look at unfamiliar men with suspicion. Migrants may feel unsafe and isolated. Police may be seen as political. Councils may be seen as secretive. Journalists may be accused of lying. Activists on both sides may inflame the situation. This is where the danger grows. Once people stop seeing individuals and start seeing groups, the temperature rises. Every crime becomes political. Every rumor becomes evidence. Every protest becomes a battlefield. Ordinary men can be pulled into anger that does not actually improve their lives. The sixth impact is the exploitation of male anger. Men who feel ignored are vulnerable to manipulation. Political actors, influencers, and extremist groups understand this. They know that men who feel humiliated, economically squeezed, or culturally displaced are more likely to respond to messages about betrayal, invasion, and weakness. This does not mean their concerns are fake, it means their concerns can be weaponized. A responsible response must separate legitimate concern from hatred. It must be possible to say, borders matter, law matters, local consent matters, policing matters, and public safety matters, without dehumanizing every migrant or refugee. The political response must be serious. Government cannot keep relying on emergency measures, slogans, and short-term fixes. The public needs visible control, faster asylum decisions, stronger action against smuggling gangs, proper returns agreements, and transparent information about where people are being housed and why. But government also needs to be honest. Not everyone arriving illegally is the same. Some are economic migrants, some are fleeing war, persecution, or torture, others are just here to exploit our system and have no actual positive impact on our society. They are here to collect their free house and money. Some claims will be valid, some will not. A serious country should be able to process claims quickly, protect those who genuinely need protection, and remove those who do not have a right to stay. The policing response must be firm and fair. Violence, intimidation, and racist attacks cannot be tolerated. At the same time, peaceful protest and legitimate public concern should not be treated as extremism. Police need community intelligence, visible local engagement, and clear communication. Silence creates rumor. Rumor creates fear. Fear creates disorder. The local response must involve communities. Councils and government departments should not impose major decisions on towns without explanation. Local men, women, parents, business owners, youth workers, and faith groups need to be heard before tensions explode. Community meetings, transparent facts, local safety plans, and proper funding can reduce anger before it becomes unrest. There also needs to be support for men who feel squeezed by the wider pressures around them. Job insecurity, housing pressure, public service decline, loneliness, crime, and social fragmentation. Immigration may become the symbol, but often the deeper wound is abandonment. The uncomfortable truth is this: illegal immigration does not damage communities only because people arrive. It damages communities when the state loses control, refuses honesty, ignores local pressure, and allows ordinary people to believe that rules no longer mean anything. For men living in the UK, the negative effects can be political, emotional, social, and practical. They may feel ignored by leaders, stretched by local pressure, anxious about policing, angry about fairness, and suspicious of change happening without consent. But the answer is not hatred. Hatred makes men weaker. It clouds judgment, destroys communities, and hands power to extremists, playing right into their hands. The answer is controlled borders, strict lawful process, honest politics, fair policing, local consultation, and humane firmness. And most importantly, immediate deportation of all illegal migrants and those convicted of serious crimes, such as sexual assault. A country has the right to protect its borders. Communities have the right to be heard. Men have the right to speak about the pressures they feel without being dismissed or radicalized. The challenge for Britain is whether it can restore order without losing decency, and whether it can listen to ordinary men and women before anger becomes something far more dangerous.